Hey everyone, it's that time again for another Q&A video. If you want your question answered in a future Q&A, comment your question below in the comment section, or you can ask me on Twitter at OrangeGrow55. I pick questions from the YouTube comments and from Twitter. Either way is fine. So just get at me with a question and I'll answer it in a future Q&A video. So without further ado, let's dig right in. And the first question comes from Jace. Jace is asking, great video. You should talk about the Disney Channel Mickey Mouse shorts. I saw on Twitter that you're not a big fan. I'm curious why. How would you alternatively modernize Mickey? Well, thank you, Jace. I do appreciate your question, and you're right. I'm not a fan of the new Mickey Mouse shorts, okay? But there are things that I do appreciate about them. I like the fact that, Disney is trying to keep Mickey Mouse a character and not just, kind of fall back on just being the corporate icon. So I like that. I like the fact that these Mickey Mouse shorts bring the character to the next generation. I like that as well. But what I don't like about the shorts, my main problem with it, is the animation style is inconsistent with the characters. Okay, it's grotesque and crude. It reminds me a lot of the style they used for the old Ren and Stimpy cartoon back in the 90s. I don't know if you guys remember that cartoon. But they would do these things like they would zoom in on Ren or Stimpy's face and they would show all the cracks and crevices, and it was really gross and grotesque. They do that a lot in these new Mickey Mouse shorts, and it feels weird. It doesn't feel like the happy-go-lucky characters that we know. It just feels off to me. It feels inconsistent with the characters, okay? So I don't mind modernizing them, but modernize them in a way that honors the character and have them be consistent with their personalities. And in my opinion, this cartoon doesn't do that. A perfect example, though, of a cartoon that does do that is the new DuckTales. The animation style is new, it's fresh, it's modern, right? It does its own thing, but at the same time, it pays tribute or pays honor to the past. So it still feels like DuckTales, but it's new and fresh. So I wouldn't mind if the Mickey Mouse cartoons adopted the DuckTales animation style. I think that would actually be great for it. I think that would be preferable. Just the current animation style with that grotesque animation, it just doesn't feel like Mickey Mouse to me. It doesn't. I watch these shorts and I don't feel like they're the same characters. So that's just my opinion, but I would love to hear what you guys think about it. Comment below. What do you think? Do you like the Mickey animation? Do you not like it? I personally don't like it. I think it's inconsistent with the characters, but that's just me. But thank you, Jace. I do appreciate the question. And the next question comes from Tyler Kelson of The Resistance. And Tyler is asking, which new section do you think will be a bigger hit with kids? Star Wars Galaxy's Edge or the untitled Marvel section in DCA with adults? Do you think WDI is going to be cheap with Marvel, or will it rival Galaxy's Edge, Pandora, or Harry Potter? Okay, Tyler, well, thank you for this question. This is actually a tough one. What do I think will be more popular with kids? Okay, I think Galaxy's Edge will be the better themed area. I do. It's going to be more immersive. It'll be a lot better than Marvel Land. It just will. What do I think kids will prefer, though? I think that the way that Galaxy's Edge is, it's very big, very massive, and the attractions are going to have like these massive, props, like these adult walkers. Everything is huge. I think for small children, Galaxy's Edge might be a little too much for them. It might be a little scary. If you're a smaller children and you get into a ride like that where everything is massive and it's just coming at you, I think that could be a little frightening to small children. So I think in that regard, I think Marvel Land will probably be more popular with the smaller kids, because you're going to have like that Spider-Man ride that's similar to Midway Mania, and then like the Doctor Strange show and things like that. I think that's more kid-friendly, young kids, okay? Now, Older kids, though, I think will enjoy Galaxy's Edge more because there will be a little bit more of a thrill factor. It will be a little bit edgier in that it's going to be a little bit scarier. It's going to get your heart moving, I think, a little bit more. Okay? So I think older kids will appreciate Galaxy's Edge more. So that's kind of where I stand with it. I think that, Galaxy's Edge will be a little too intense for some small children. But I think the older kids are going to absolutely love it. In terms of Marvel Land being on par with like Pandora or Wizarding World, no, I don't think it will be. I really don't. I think it'll be well done. I think it'll be very well done. I think it'll be more in terms of like a Cars Land or something like that, where it's immersive and it's really impressive, but it's not quite Galaxy's Edge. It's not quite Pandora, in my opinion. So, and Marvel is sort of a hard franchise to really get that immersive anyway. They're kind of working with a franchise that doesn't really, the subject matter isn't one that can really translate into a super immersive area because the Marvel universe is more about the individuals. Iron Man, Thor, Hulk. It's not about the environment. The environment is our world. They live in our world. They fight in New York. They fight in California. There's nothing really special about the environments of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I don't think that when you do a theme park, it's going to translate into this massively immersive world because there's nothing really to immerse you in. They're in our world. So that's how I see it. So it won't be as immersive as Galaxy's Edge. It'll be impressive, though. It definitely will be. Thank you, Tyler. I do appreciate the question. And the next question, let me see here, comes from Ross. And Ross is asking, once Disney is done with Galaxy's Edge, Marvel Land, New Fantasyland, and New Tomorrowland, do you think it will ever consider expanding DCA into the Simba cast member parking lot by the Paradise Pier Hotel? I mean, look at all that space. If you're not sure what I mean, go to Google Maps and look at Pixar Pier from behind it and then from the left. Well, thank you, Ross, for this question. Okay, I think that yes, they'll use it for expansion eventually, but it won't be for DCA. I think it'll be used more for another hotel, maybe another shopping district like a Disney Springs or another extension of like a Downtown Disney. I don't think they're going to expand DCA though because there's a street in between the current park and that Simba parking lot. It would cause an issue, I think, trying to connect the two. Okay, and that's the only reason why I don't think it'll ever become part of DCA. But yes, Disney will use it eventually, I think, for expansion. It just won't be for DCA. It won't be for another theme park. It'll probably be another hotel or a shopping district. Thank you, though, Ross. I do appreciate the question. And the next question comes from Andrew Balderrama. Do you think Disney will ever revisit the Eastern Gateway? And if they do, what would it become instead of a parking structure like a hotel or land to be used for a new gate? Well, Andrew, thank you for this question. Well, like I mentioned in a previous video recently, the political environment has changed in Anaheim with the new mayor that's pro-Disney, and we have now a new city board that's also more pro-Disney. I think there's a very good chance that Disney will, take another look at that piece of property. I don't think it'll become a parking structure. I could maybe see it becoming like a shopping district or something like that. Maybe they'll make it cast parking. Maybe they'll make a cast parking structure over there. I don't know. But I really don't know what it could be, to be honest with you. I really don't. I don't think a third park is an option, though. That whole area isn't big enough. But I think they will definitely look at the area now that they have a friendly mayor. I think they will utilize the land, but it'll be something like either parking or shopping or something along those lines. But definitely not another park, though. Well, thank you, Andrew. I do appreciate the question. And the last question comes from Preston. What is one element, attraction, show, etc. that you missed from DCA 1.0? Well, thank you, Preston. What's one element? I'll be honest with you. I don't miss really anything from DCA 1.0. I think that this park has improved tenfold since it opened, you know, in 2001. I mean, there really aren't that many areas that I kind of wish it would go back to the old ways. But if I were to have to pick one thing that I miss from DCA 1.0, it would be the entrance music. When you first walked into the park with all that Beach Boys music and things like that, you know, I don't know. I really like that. It got me in the mood for the park. It was fun. I love Buena Vista Street. I prefer Buena Vista Street, but I just miss that music. I really do. I thought that it carried a fun energy when you walked into the park to hear that when you first walked in. But I'll be honest with you though, there's not a whole lot that I miss about that 1.0 version of DCA. You know, they've improved that park so much since it opened. It's incredible. I mean, even Pixar Pier. If you compare Pixar Pier to what the pier was when it first opened, there's no comparison. I mean, you could have criticisms of Pixar Pier. I mean, we all do. I do. But it's still 1,000 times better than what the pier was when it first opened. So yeah, I don't miss much from 1.0, but the music is one thing that I do miss. Oh, and actually, you know what? There is another thing. And a lot of you will probably disagree with me. In 2000, I think it was 2009 or 2010, they had a night party called Glowfest. I miss Glowfest. They had these Bollywood dancers that would get up there and do their routine, and it was ugly. Like all the decor was super, super ugly, but the energy for Glowfest was so much fun. I've never had that much fun in my life. I mean, I really love the energy at Glowfest. I thought it was fantastic, and I do miss it. I really do. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people hated Glowfest. They prefer Electronica, which came after. And I liked Electronica, but I thought the energy at Glowfest was so much more fun and lively. Always had a blast. I honestly would love to see that return. So those are my two DCA 1.0, you know, things I wish they would come back. But yeah, there's no chance. Thank you, Preston, for the question. I do appreciate it. So that concludes this Q&A video. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to submit a question, you can do so in the comment section or on Twitter at OrangeGrow55. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate each and every one of you, all your support. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.